Okay, let's see. This is a replay for Jawzy. He sent me this match ID on Reddit. I guess he was a player in the game, wanted me to cast it. So I've seen absolutely nothing about it. I guess let's give it a shot. I did notice that I think it's from 2017. So it's not like a current patch type thing. Not that it really matters. In 2000, so I think this was like a full year ago, maybe longer.
Radiant team back.
I don't remember. Nah, bro. Tempest. There he is. Jawzy. Alright,
Dire team back.
let's go through the draft, I think. I can't really give an opinion on the draft from 2017. I don't remember who was strong, who was weak. Night Stalker band though kind of looks like it's from this year.
Radiant team back.
Life Stealer though, this is definitely old. I guess I'll go through the draft.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team back. Radiant
So let's
team
just
back.
do this. What about right here? What is that? A Tiner? Tiner? What the? Tiny and Ogre. And a Shadow Shaman and a Chaos Knight. Interesting. Shadow Shaman, Chaos Knight, Earth Shaker, Storm Spirit, and Doom against Tiny, Ogre Magi, Nature's Prophet, Phantom Assassin, and we're about to see the last pick.
10 seconds remaining.
An Ember Spirit, interesting. Now, I can't remember if this was when Magical Ember was a thing. I mean, it's still a thing now, but I don't remember if this was when it's at its height or if this is classic crit Ember. Oh, that's a good Ogre set. That's an Ogre player. Okay. Let's just add negative 30 seconds. Let's fast forward a little bit, get into the game itself. Okay, there it goes. Great timing. We have a Phantom Assassin. Wait, is there no sounds in this game? Oh no, there's sounds. We'll turn it up a little bit. Sounds very quiet to me. Okay, so it's a Nature's Prophet with a Fairy Fire and Boots, a full stick or a full magic wand on the Ember Spirit. Boots and 2 Fairy Fires, 85 health. Tangos, 5 tangos. Tangos, Polarity, Healing Self, Fairy Fire, just casual regen. 2 mangoes, Stout Shield, Tangos. I don't remember. It's when they were 5 stack.
The battle begins.
What is this? I don't know. Oh, it's the quick buy. I wonder why I wasn't showing anything for him. Tiny sitting in the side shop. Has TP in the inventory, so that I just realized I had the new UI, but TP doesn't obviously fit. I guess maybe thinking about swapping lanes. I'm looking to see how it's set up before he TP's out. I don't know really why is it sitting this stuff. So it's the Ogre and the Ember in the mid lane. Very good block against the Jawzy on the Storm Spirit. Has a fairy fire, 2 tangos, bottle queued up. This is just typical ogre stuff. Just all sits mid. Bull is the mid laner, gets lead for his laner. Let's look at the last hit. Ember 4-0, good CS. Didn't miss a single one yet. CK getting smacked around a little bit by the Tiny with the tree in the bottom lane. Doom in the top lane with a stout shield and then regen versus the PA. It's just gonna be a pretty boring lane up there, honestly. I don't think it's gonna go either way. Doom is very tanky. Obviously, once he hits level 2, a score there just for the regen. Shadow Shaman in the bot lane getting blocked very well by the treants. Does die in the end. I thought that block from the Earthshaker would save him, but I guess some creeps managed to get the last hit. That was good blocking from the treant though to set that up. So it's a support Tiny. Or just a stout shield for the blocks. Maybe? I don't know. There's not really any CS happening bot lane outside of the CK. CK Shadow Shaman a very dangerous lane though. Blur. Is this current patch? No, it's 5 stacks tangos. It can't be current patch. And TP's on an inventory. That's just weird. I guess it shows her blurred on the map. But it shows her like... Yeah, okay. So I guess this is just... it's a very interesting bug. Shadow Shaman shackling the Tiny in the bot lane. Followed up by the Earthshaker Fissure. But is not going to lead into a kill. Actually, I completely lied. It was a kill. Thank you, directed camera. Let's, actually, let's just, let's follow this guy's camera. There we go. That'll do it. Nature's Prophet in the bot lane. TP down, harassing the CK and the Shadow Shaman. Good block from the Earthshaker, but it's not going to matter too much because I don't think they have the health to try to contest. If he just starts hitting, he'd probably at least kill the Shadow Shaman on the way out. Yes, he does. Is he still going to die? He does die to the Earthshaker in the end. Earthshaker having boots is quite a speedy fellow. 20 move speed difference even with Nature's Prophet having boots as well. Tiny poking with the tree does have avalanche up now. Does get stunned by the CK though, does not get the avalanche off and is shackled under the tower, will die. Does get the avalanche off, still dies in the end though. Treants feeding a little gold over to the CK. Well, I guess just CK got one. But free gold. Like I said, this tri-lane, just a very hectic lane all around. CK Shadow Shaman very dangerous. Couple it up with Earthshakers, blocks, extra damage. It's very easy for them to kill these people down here. Tiny's a little tanky, but Nature's Prophet, if they can get the jump on him, should be pretty easy kills. In the mid lane, it's Ember and the Storm Spirit doing fairly well together. Pretty much even on both sides. Storm has the bottle, going for the treads next. Ember has the bottle and the full magic wand going just boots. Earthshaker died in the bot lane. I guess the Tiny and the Nature's Prophet just enough to pick him off. Obviously Tiny being very strong. Lots of pick-offs opportunity. Nature's Prophet does manage to just walk away. Comes back, pokes a little bit. They do end up killing the CK. Nature's Prophet trying to juke around the Earth Spirit, avoid getting killed, is probably going to be fine. Ignite on the Doom. Level 2 Ogre obviously isn't going to be too big of an issue. Is going for the Medallion first on the Doom. That's interesting. Nature's Prophet does die in the bottom layer. So does the Tiny. See, this is it's a very dangerous lane down here. Just all the way around. Getting the runes for the Radiant team. 2 of them. I can't actually see them on the map. But I assume both of them top are still there. CK just poking the Tiny a little bit. Does now have boots. Nature's Prophet steps a little too far up, going for the Shadow Shaman kill. Does end up dying before the kill, but Shadow Shaman dies in return. Is he going to get the Tiny or the Earth Shaker? It does not look like it. It does look like he'll be able to just walk away though. CK does not have stun up. Does have stun up soon. Does not have mana though. Decides to just turn instead. Is going to kill the Chaos Knight. Earthshaker, very ballsy play, but does manage to kill the Tiny in the end. Is not going to die to these trees. Shrine's up, but I can't see the shrine. It's going to be perfectly fine. Doom just hanging around the top lane, getting a little harassing on the Ogre, eating a Centaur. Does have the Stomp now. Can stomp and just walk away, or he does cut on the Scorchers, can turn on the Ogre unless there's a lot of lucky crits. Is actually, but he did get a couple, I think 2 crits already, so stun from the Ogre, remnant in from the Earth Spirit, does land the chains. Another crit does finish off the Doom. So that's pretty nice for the PA getting that kill. Did get a little lucky. I think that was 3 or 4 crits in that fight. Storm Spirit up a couple CS in the middle lane. CK just in the bottom lane has full treads now. I think these are the old treads, or the new treads. Earth Spirit gets picked off in the mid lane. Good rotation from the Shadow Shaman and the Earthshaker to get the kill. He did use all of his remnants in the top. No, he had 2 remnants actually. I guess he just was chained until he died. CK does die in the bot lane to the Tiny and the Nature's Prophet. Maybe playing just a little too far up without his supports. Maybe underestimating the damage that those 2 actually had. Tiny has very high damage output. It has 3 points in the toss. And has the Gloves of Haste just in his backpack. I guess going for treads, but Ring of Health on the PA. It looks like she's going for phase into the Battle Fury. Treads on the Tiny, getting jumped by the Chaos Knight. Does manage to get the Bounty Rune though. There's a lockdown on the Tiny, but the Avalanche does interrupt the shackle, so he might just be able to walk away. Nature's Prophet. Okay, so they do end up killing the Tiny. Shadow Shaman dies for it in the end, but so does Tiny. I didn't think that Chaos Bolt would reach the Nature's Prophet, but I was completely wrong. Storm Spirit jumping onto the Ogre, but is just shrining up is going to be perfectly fine. Chaos Knight, however, still thinks they can fight that, but with the Tiny TPing and the Nature's Prophet TPing in, I'm not sure if they can. Storm has no mana. Short jump away, sticks to get a little more mana, but Remnant followed by the chains from the Storm Spirit does pick off the Chaos Knight. Toss onto the Storm Spirit, followed up by the Sprout. Storm Spirit completely out of mana, trying his hardest to live. Avalanche does get the kill in the end. PA did die in the top lane to the Doom though. Doom was used. I guess Chaos Knight just feeling a lot stronger than he is, I suppose. Running uphill into this shrine here trying to fight. Maybe if he was 6 or if Storm Spirit had more mana they could have possibly done it, but unfortunately he's not quite 6. Very close though. Always unfortunate in situations like that. Drums almost finished on the Nature's Prophet. A very strong item on the Nature's Prophet. Phase finished on the Doom. It does have the medallion. It's going to be pretty tanky. Obviously with the regen from Scorched Earth. 15 armor. I guess I'm up from the top protection. Very hard to kill. What does Ember have? Ember is going for the Boots of Travel first. Pretty common item. I do want to see what he's going for next though. I wonder if it'll be Battle Fury or if he'll pick up like a Veil. Trying to remember exactly what patch this is. Storm Spirit has the Bloodstone queued up. Doom up a little to, I mean, I guess he wasn't up too far, but it was a good rotation from the Tiny and the Ogre. Obviously having enough lockdown for the Doom. PA does get a couple of crits and they are able to kill the Doom. Good rotation from the supports. PA does have the Perseverance heading towards the Battle Fury. Nature's Prophet is now up here. They're trying to get this tower. Has the Shadow Blade queued up. Always a good item, in my opinion, on Nature's Prophet. There's a TP from the Storm Spirit. Not too much mana on him, though. Is not going to be able to follow up into the Nature's Prophet. Does get mana boots and sticks up. Has a little bit more mana. They do get the kill on the Nature's Prophet. It does go to the Storm. Ember Spirit on the side. Double Remnant. Followed up, or chain into the double Remnant. Just a good bit of poke damage. CK, great fissure from the Earthshaker. It's a lot of damage on him. Storm Spirit able to leap away. PA jumps in and eats a stun in the middle of the wards. Does die to the Chaos Knight. Storm Spirit leaping in. They do manage to pick up the Ogre. I guess I should say falls in, but well on his way to the Bloodstone. That'll be a very nice item when he gets it off, especially in a hectic game like this. There's already 18 kills on the board. Should be able to rack up those Bloodstone charges. Doom cutting the wave, chasing for the Tiny. Does not find the kill in the end. Nature's Prophet down in the bot lane, just farming up. It does have the drums. I guess had them in the last fight. Just farming a little bit. Ogre stunned by the Chaos Knight. TP from the Earth Spirit into an immediate Doom. Will not die from the Doom, but Doom will die in the end to all of the casual damage. Ogre, Nature's Prophet gets the kill. Shadow Shaman, just trying to help, dies in the end. Earthshaker also dies. I didn't even see how he died. Chaos Knight ran down, dies also. Did have his ultimate. Did not have mana for his ultimate. Just played a little too deep into the lane. Didn't have the mana to sustain. Good TP from the Ember Spirit. Does have his Boots of Travels up. Allowed them to pick a very nice fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They do get the tower in the top lane. The Dire does. Earthshaker, what is he? Is he very close to his Blink Dagger? Would have had it if he had got killed by the Nature's Prophet. I think he died to the Wrath of Nature somehow, but I didn't quite see.
Tower is under attack.
Thinking just accidentally died, that would have been very unfortunate. Fight in the bot lane, Echo used, followed by the Hex, jumped by the Storm Spirit. Ember does die. That's a very nice kill, always shutting down the enemy mid laner and boosting your own. Storm Spirit level 11, Ember level 10, Storm 12, 2-level lead on the mid laner. Shadow Shaman moving to the side lane, faking a ward. It does run into the Nature's Prophet though. Nature's Prophet should just run away. Does, drums away. Storm Spirit jumps in. Does have Vortex, but that shrine's up. I just couldn't see. They do disengage properly. Good attempted block from the Earthshaker. Radiant is shrining up as well. It's gonna be pretty topped off if they want to try to defend the tier 1 in the bot lane. Chaos Knight just farming. What is he going for? Almost has his Armlet. Will be quite strong then. Top tier 1 being pushed by the Doom. Does not look like they're going to try to defend. Bottom tier 1 being pushed by the Dire team. Radiant does not look like they're going to defend. Tiny treads. Tiny almost has its Blink Dagger. That is going to be a very big item. Great timing. They don't have a very good way to deal with the Tiny initiation. Storm Spirit gets jumped. Will very likely die. Earthshaker does now have his Blink Dagger as well. Remnant's in on the Saber Remnant. Light balls in on the Ogre. A very tanky target, maybe not the one they're looking for. Ember Remnants in on the Shadow Shaman. Does eat a Fissure to the stun. Does not. Third Remnant. He has no Remnants down. Shackled and doomed. Does die in the end. PA jumps in as well and dies very quickly to the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit balls in on the Ogre. Is not going to get the kill on the Ogre. He's very fast. Tiny, however, tries to turn on the CK, but CK just armlet toggles and lives. Does eat a stun and dies in the end. It's 4 dead for the Dire team for the one of the Shadow Shaman. Very good fight. Maybe not the play from the Ember Spirit. Went just a little too deep, I suppose. Used all of his ornaments trying to pick off his support and does not get the kill, and then ends up in a very bad position. Did not even have the echo from the Earthshaker or the wards from the Rasta. So that means they will still have them for this next fight. How close is Storm to his Bloodstone? Very close to the Bloodstone, about 600 gold. I should farm that a bit in the jungle, and then by the time he has that for the next team fight, that it will be massive. 30 damage on the Prophet and 150 health on the PA. I guess pretty common talents. PA being fairly squishy. Storm Spirit does pick off the Nature's Prophet in the bot lane with the Earthshaker and the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman playing the hard 5, doesn't have any items yet. Storm went for the 3 mana regen talent. Does have his Bloodstone, 20 gold away. It's a very big item, especially if you can continue up this pace and start racking up the charges. Chaos Knight does have his armlet, is going for the Echo Saber next item. Doom did pick up the drums, a very nice team fight. Utility items going for the Shadow Blade next. Shadow Blade's always an interesting item on Doom in my opinion. It's very good for setting up, but he has such a low mana pool that it's hard to get off your entire combo with Shadow Blade. Earthshaker looks like he was caught. Yeah, especially camera's not following. Does get picked off by the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit uses all of his remnants. Is going for the Maelstrom next. Shadow Shaman jumped as well. Does die to the PA. Chaos Knight also caught as well. Is not going to armlet. Does land a bolt on the Nature's Prophet. Armlet is on. Is just man fighting Tiny. Will win that fight. Good Satyr Blast. What is it? From the Doom. Picks off the Tiny. Ember Spirit long leap onto the Nature's Prophet. Does not have mana. Does have the Bloodstone though. A good what is it? Satyr. A good shockwave from the Doom. Does manage to pick off the Nature's Prophet that was invisible. That is 2 charges on the Bloodstone for the Storm Spirit. Always nice. I think that was a 3-for-3 fight. Neither good nor bad in the end. I guess it did let Bloodstone get charges, but they still have the Doom, the Phantasm, the Echo, and the wards. So, PA does now have a Battle Fury though, going for Deso next item. Ogre, pretty poor. It's the hard 5 on their team, I suppose. Ember making his way for the Maelstrom. It's gonna be fairly slow. I guess he's gonna, I don't know, an okay way to deal with the CK illusions, but that's not their issue this game, I think. Nature's Prophet is going for the, I don't know if this is Echo Saber, right? Nature's Prophet going for the Echo Saber?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No. I don't know. Kaya picked up on the Storm Spirit. Did pick up another kill. Does now have 17 charges. So it's 17 charges, and Kaya is very strong right now. Chaos Knight jumped in the bot lane by the Ember, the Nature's Prophet, and the Tiny. Rotations from the Earthshaker and the Doom. He still does die in the end though, but it does look like they're going to be able to defend this tier 2 unless they get jumped again. PA does jump in, gets doomed and vortexed by the Storm Spirit, does just straight die. Fall in onto the Ember Spirit from the Storm Spirit, is going to manage to pick him off. Storm Spirit looking very strong this game. Now has 19 charges, going for the Orchid next. Ooh, a little unfortunate, just a little slow. It was slightly faster. Almost cancels the Tiny's TP, but he does manage to TP out and make it to safety. TP to the mid lane, just farming the creeps, clearing the wave. Shadowblade is up on the Doom. Rasta is queuing up a Force Staff. It's very nice to get out of the Sprout. Force Staff also next on the Earthshaker. Very good to disengage, and they do need a way to break the Sprout properly. Wards dropped for this tier 2 in the bot lane. It does just look like they're planning to give it up. It's going to be very hard to fight in this Storm Spirit as strong as he is right now, and no BKBs. And it doesn't even really look like they're planning to go for BKBs. PA queues up BKB after the Deso. No, she is just going for the BKB, it looks like. She really needs it this fight, but it still doesn't necessarily save her from the Doom, so it's quite unfortunate. She needs a Lincoln and a BKB, but does not have that type of farm. Doom up here, defending this tower, playing the creep wave, has 2,400 gold. I would like to see what he's going for next. CK on his way to the Echo Saber, about 800 gold, is not having a very good game this match, struggling, but Tiny Nature's Prophet is very hard lane. Doom does pick up the DD, it runs directly into the Ember. Ember does have a remnant, but eats half his health. Gotta love the power of the DD. PA just farming the jungle. Obviously has the Battle Fury. Is sitting on the Ogre Axe though. I suppose must be going for the BKB. He does pick up the Armor Corruption. Very strong talent. Embers does now have the Maelstrom. That'll be pretty helpful for the fights. Tiny has his Blink and almost has the Echo Saber. That'll up his burst a very strong amount in these team fights. Should allow him to pick off one of the supports pretty easily. Force Staff is up on the Earthshaker. Orchid is almost up on the Storm Spear. That is going to be a very strong item. They have no way to deal with these silences. He can easily solo kill anyone on the team, except for possibly the Tiny. No, this is not the one where he gets status resistance. Meteor Hammer is picked up on the Nature's Prophet. Shackle on the Tiny does. PA does die from a, or Shadow Shaman does die from a crit. Doom also dies as well. Maybe playing a little too deep with just the two of them, not respecting the rotations. They are now just farming the wards. It's a good bit of money they just gave away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Nature's Prophet just cutting the wave a little bit. TP's to the mid lane, tries to defend the tower. PA does almost have her BKB that is going to be very strong for the next team fight. But Storm also almost has his Orchid, which is also going to be very strong for the next team fight. As long as he doesn't Orchid the PA, he should be able to kill anyone he wants to. Probably should be looking for someone like the Nature's Prophet or the Ember Spirit if you can catch him before he gets the Flame Guard on. Does have the Flame Guard absorption talent, so 750 magic damage absorbed. It's a good try for the Earth Ember Spirit. I don't think they'll catch him with a fissure like that. I think they'll have to blink Echo if they want to try to catch him at all. Does Ember Spirit or Storm Spirit does jump and Orchid in before he gets his Flame Guard on. Ember does die in the end. Storm does have a haste, like I said, very strong once he picks up that Orchid. Is able to just solo kill anyone wants to and just run down. Ogre does die as well. Good follow up from the Earthshaker to get there in time. Ember did not manage to get the Flame Guard on. It's just completely food to the Storm Spirit without it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Echo from the Earthshaker onto the Nature's Prophet, followed by the Dust, followed by the CK Stone. Nature's Prophet does die. Shadow Shaman does die to the Tiny though. Does drop his wards. Not going to get much out of it. Tiny does manage to TP out. He is up here in the end. Does not get the runes. Walks off. Going to go for their own rune.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Forces up on Earthshaker. PA TPing out. Might get stopped. Does get stopped. Ember Spirit. Or Storm Spirit is going to be perfectly fine. Has a lot of the mana to work with. Doom looks like he wants to follow up though and maybe get a pick off. Does not try to fight. Storm Spirit quickly regenerating mana, has the Orchid and the 21 charges on the Bloodstone. Following up with the BKB. It's going to be very strong once it gets the BKB. With the BKB, there's nothing to stop him from basically playing with his food. He'll be able to pick anyone off he wants to. Maybe not the PAs, seeing as how she has the BKB and the Blur. But everyone else should just be complete fodder to him once he picks that off. Or once he picks up the BKB. Phantom Assassin did pick up the BKB. Is going for the Lincolns next. But with the BKB followed by the Lincolns, you have a very distinct lack of damage unless you get extremely lucky and every attack is a crit. Tiny is going for the Shadow Blade next. I would have preferred to see the Shadow Blade instead of the Echo Saber first. Shadow Blade is such a strong item on Tiny. Nature's Prophet going for the Aghanims next. I guess deciding that they're not doing well in these team fights, so he needs to split push. Preferring to keep the lane shoved in. Maybe looking to rat a little bit. Lincoln's next on the Ember Spirit. That's the same thing as the PA. They will have a distinct lack of damage with these items, but they need them to survive. Glimmer Cape on the Ogre, that'll be pretty nice to allow people to live from the Storm Spirit, unless he picks up it like a gem or has dust of his own. Earthshaker going for the Shadow Blade. Rasta. Ooh. That was it, noise. Rasta still does not have the 4 staff, struggling as a 5. What the heck is that noise? Why can't I? Okay, there it goes. That was extremely weird. Chaos not. Oh, I guess it's because this guy's selecting. There it goes. Chaos Knight, still just the Armlet and the Echo Saber, nothing queued up. If I was him, I would go for maybe a Manta to remove the chains, or possibly just tank up a bit with the BKB or Heart. Tiny jumped by the Doom and the Storm Spirit. Like I said, just fodder. He's a support. Does not have BKB or Lincolns. If he eats the Orchid, he just simply dies. Bloodstone at 22 charges on the Ember, though, Ember on the Storm Spirit, so he is a very strong force to be reckoned with. DD on the PA, BKB up soon. I would like to see her try to make a play with it. Disconnect from the Storm Spirit again, though. Or was he disconnected last time? I actually didn't see. Shadow Shaman is reconnected. 15k net worth on the Storm Spirit. Very strong. So I'm surprised that the Doom is actually sitting on the 12k net worth. It does have a full Shiva's. Very going to be very strong in this team fight. It's their team is a kind of a very attack reliant, right click reliant team. So the Shiva's attack speed slow will be very nice for that. Picking off the Roshan, going to be very nice on the Storm to have Roshan. Obviously one of the best Aegis carriers in the game.
Yes. Let the fun begin.
Nature's Prophet is ratting the wave. I do want to see if they're going to try to make a blind jump. It's toggling his ult. Does actually get his ultimate off. Does not have the Aghanims yet, so it's not going to spawn treants with it. But does shove in the wave. Ember in the bot lane. Pushing. They are going to have to send someone back to defend this tier 3. There's a big wave there. I guess they'll have to send the...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They are pushing this tier 2. It does not look like they're wanting to defend the tier 3, but I think they're going to have to. TP from the Doom, immediately running away from the Ember though, playing very passive.
Middle tower is under attack.
BKB from the PA does jump the Doom. Doom should die here, does die. Wards and Phantasm pot from the CK, so they are trading tier 3 towers, or attempting to anyways. Ogre TPing out to defend, does get stopped from the Earthshaker. Doom still dead. Good jump from the Tiny. Storm Spirit is able to dodge out of the chain. Storm Spirit does die, but does have Aegis. Should be able to just jump away. They have no silence or stun. They do get the ranged barracks in the top lane though, but they did commit a lot for it. Phantasm used, wards used.
The seeds of fortune.
Storm Spirit does Orchid. The Ogre Magi is just going to kill him fairly easily. Ogre does not have the Glimmer Cape picked up yet. Just sitting on the cloak. Storm has the BKB and is at 24 Bloodstone charges. Shadowblade picked up an air check. It'll be nice to let them get pickoffs. Storm Spirit should be able to follow up very well from very large distances. So it's going to be very nice if they do it properly. Nature's Prophet pushes out this wave a little bit. Shadowblade is going to TP out. Good timing because the Earthshaker and the... Actually, it's not TPing out. It's choosing to sit over here. May get caught. Doesn't look like it though. This scan very slightly misses. Very unfortunate. Oh, okay, so it was the melee barracks that died. I didn't think of ranged barracks regent, but it says ranged. I don't know. Melee barracks died. It's actually very good for them. The ranged barracks is not a big deciding factor, but the melee barracks shoves in the lane. It's going to be... Actually, was it the melee barracks? I mean, it must be. That's very nice for them to get that Rax. Did not even have to trade the tier 3 for it.
Fortune's changed. Mine!
Selfish.
There is a rotation onto the Doom. No. Doom up a little too far. Is gonna kill the creep, so... Is dusted and stunned by the Ogre. PA is attacking him. Does Doom the PA, but is just gonna still die for it. Trying to voice his Doom. And up a little too far. But, you know, when you're ahead, play ahead. Nature's Prophet dewarding. Storm Spirit. No, Was that just the Earthshaker? Earthshaker killing the PA? I think PA was very low after the Doom, so just calmly, I say calmly, does manage to kill the PA. That's very nice. Fight in the bot lane. CK is killing the Nature's Prophet. Storm Spirit is jumping onto the Tiny. Tiny dies in the end as well. 2 for O. Ags up on the Nature's Prophet. It does look like they should be able to force buybacks to get this barracks. We'll probably get the barracks even if they force buybacks. Bloodstone at 26 charges, going for the Hex next. Phantasm popped by the CK, going to try to hit this tower. This does look like it's going to be a second lane of barracks, uncontested. Storm Spirit jumped the Ember Spirit, but Ember does have the Lincolns, so the Orchid does not silence. Ember with the Maelstrom doing a fairly good job at defending, but they still do lose the second lane of barracks in the end.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
11k lead for Tempest. I guess I should be using their team names. Tempest looking very strong this match.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen. Dire's
Especially the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit with the 20k net worth. With the 14, 1, and 8, has only died a single time. Is going for a it's going for a second Orchid. Because why not? Okay, I was actually going for the Bloodstone. Or not the Bloodstone, but the Ember Spirit, or Storm Spirit does jump the Nature's Prophet. They do have Dust for the Shadow Blade, does die in the end. As a good movement to pick off the split pushing Nature's Prophet. Does not have a buyback. I can't even remember what this is called. Yeah, Bloodthorn. Bloodthorn picked up on the on the Storm Spirit. Now has a whopping 57 mana regen. And obviously gets True Strike, so it's very good against PA, but PA does have Lincolns and BKB. Maybe saving for buyback. But we'll shortly have the Lincolns and buyback. CK did go for the Manta.
middle tower is under attack.
I'm probably going for a hard next item if I had to guess. Doom does pick up the Solar Crest. Silver Edge next item on the Earthshaker. Not a lot of good uses for the Silver Edge. Solely maybe trying to remove the blur on the PA, but unfortunately she has BKB. Nothing surprising item-wise. Shadow Shaman finally does have his 4 staff though. Drop the wards in the mid lane, just trying to siege this tier 3. There's not any follow-up though, so he just kind of wasted wards. The whole team was behind him. They just, I don't know. Phantasm popped by the CK. Gonna beat on this tower. There are 6 CKs there, so it's gonna be a hard force to deal with. Doom walks uphill with the Scorched Earth. BKB from the PA jumps the Phantasm Illusions. Still BKB jumping in on the Chaos Knight, not the play. PA attacks, Storm Spirit. BKB jumps the Ogre, Earthshaker echoes. Storm Spirit does kill the Ogre and the PA. Ember dies in the end as well, gets killed by the CK. This looks like it's the 3rd game of Barracks. Tiny does manage to pick up the Shadow Shaman from behind. This is the 3rd lane of Barracks. Are they going to just end, or are they going to get the Megas from the top? Storm Spirit jumps in. Ogre Lemmer Capes does get dusted a little late, so it's managing to get into the well. It's going to be perfectly fine.
The Radiant now have Mega Creeps.
Radiant now have Mega Creeps. Well played. That's the game. They're not going to come back from Megas. Storm Spirit does jump the Tiny, does get bloomed by the Ogre and lives. Ogre does, however, get stunned by the CK and dies. Tiny also gets a little too deep and dies. Storm Spirit jumping around onto the Ogre, or onto the Ember. Ember does manage to live. Tiny does kill the Storm Spirit, played a little too deep, low mana. It's the end of the game, having a little bit of fun. Does only have a 6-second respawn though, so it's already up.
Zap. Zap.
Looking at the bot lane, they did lose the tier 3 in the bot lane though.
Ha! Where's the party?
Mega's pushing in now. Roshan is up, I believe.
Here I am.
But with Megas, well, I guess PA does have BKB and they do have Ember, so they actually can deal with Megas very easily. But the issue is, they were struggling before Megas, and now it's a 22k net or 21k net worth lead at the end of that. Storm Spirit going for the Aghanims. Does have Aghanims. Has the money for Aghanims. I suppose he's saving for buyback. Chaos Knight sitting on 6k. Not sure what he wants to go for next. I would prefer, like I said, health. Maybe BKB, but I would prefer like a heart. Something that just makes him extremely tanky. Rasta going for the Aghanims next. Has it in 1k gold. Earthshaker has the Silver Edge. Just going for the Desolator next. Ogre looks like he's going to go for a Lotus Sword, but it's not likely to get there. PA looks like she's queuing up a Basher. Is going to go for the Abyssal next. Ember Spirit. Still just the Maelstrom and the Lincolns. Nature's Prophet with the Aghanims. Tiny has a Hyperstone, probably looking at an AC. Now it's just this is actual Dota 2. They are defending their ancient from hordes of enemy forces. Storm Spirit jumps in, clearing the wave a little bit.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
They're clearing out the shrines. Who picked up the Aegis? CK did get the Aegis. I'm surprised they didn't give it to the Storm. They opted to give him the cheese instead. He did have a slot, right? Or am I? No, it's interesting. Did CK buy anything? Did buy the heart. So it's very tanky, hard to kill. Does have the Aegis. They're playing. Tempest is playing a little passive at this point in the game. I guess just not wanting to throw, maybe saving for buybacks. $24k net worth lead though. They are grouping and are pushing to the mid lane. Are trying to look for the end tier. Wards dropped on the tier 4s. Tied on the sideline looking for a pick off. Chain on the Doom from the Ember. Storm Spirit with the long jump. BKBs. He's jumping the PA. PA just BKBs in the end. Jumps the Ogre. Ogre Glimmer Capes walks away. PA is running down the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit's BKB ran out. Nature Prophet and Tiny do die to the Chaos Knight with the Phantasm. Just hitting the Ancient, opting to end this game. Doesn't want to mess around, pick off any kills. Just gets those two, starts hitting the throne. That's a good game, well played. 28k net worth lead in the end. Excuse me, from Tempest. Did very well. Obviously was very dominant force in lane outside of the the bottom lane, which it's a tiny Nature's Prophet. It's just very hard lane to play into, especially as a melee core. But thank you for the cast. This was for Jawzy. He's the one who sent me this replay on Reddit. I had fun casting and I hope I didn't butcher it. Please leave me any comments and feedback on my cast. And thank you so much.